The dice I'm about to show you are from Flying Horseduck, which is a hilarious name, but they are no joke in terms of quality, craftsmanship, balance, geometry, like every single way that you could evaluate a set of dice. In my book, these get top marks across the board. They've got beauty, brains, and brawn. They're a little chunky. They're very well balanced in terms of mathematics and from craftsmanship. So I'm really stoked to show these off to you. This is the full set of 7 that I ordered in kind of an Arctic blue or whatever that's called. Just absolutely gorgeous box, and the set is fantastic. They're a little bigger than normal, but they're not giant like the orc tusks or the whatever whatever I call them. But here's the thing I love the most about them, which is every single value that it is, like the D12, the D10, the D100, 20, their top number is very clearly outlined with that shape. None of the other numbers on the dice have that shape around it, so it's really easy to see when you roll the top. So if you play any games that have exploding dice, you don't have to remember which one is which. And normally what I do is I'll use a different color for each kind of die, so I know the red one is 6, but even then, if it just had a circle around the top number, then you don't have to think about it. You see that shape, and there you go. You rolled the best you possibly could with this die. So I love how easy these are to read in terms of legibility, and also to know that you've rolled the top possible with any of them because they all have that shape around the highest number. So that is really cool. Here's another thing that I love, which is the D4. It is not the caltrop step on it in the middle of the night and destroy your foot shape. It's a kind of a crystal gem shape that is just really cool. So I love this shape, and I've seen a whole bunch of different D4 shapes before, but I've never seen one just like this, and it just is perfect. The edges are flawless, the faces are perfect. The level of craftsmanship to make something this perfect, this precise, is really impressive. I love it. And also, evidently, these are the fairest dice that you are ever going to find. So in addition to being perfectly milled and the faces being done exactly right and the edges being super straight, and from the geometry and manufacturing angle, pun intended, these are really well done. And then on top of that, they are super well balanced in terms of where the numbers are. And there's a really long post from the Kickstarter campaign that goes into excruciating detail about this, but evidently, instead of just the opposite faces adding up to the same thing and then the rest of the numbers going wherever and those pairs being on opposite sides is the only thing that matters, this guy went even farther. So the numbers around this point, so these numbers add up to whatever that is, and that is as close as you can get to the same of these numbers adding up and the values. So the vertex values, the vertex averages, are as dialed in and balanced as possible. So even if there were a tiny imbalance so that one side would be preferred over the other, it's not like it's always preferring the 20 side versus the 1 side. It's as balanced could possibly get. And not only do they look great, then also they're fair and and geometrically, mathematically perfect. Like there's not a lot to not love about these dice. And I've got my trusty calipers here. I won't do quite as thorough a job, mainly because there aren't any rounded edges for me to really get a hold of. So face to face, let's actually just start smallest to biggest. So the D4 on its regular side looks like it's about 11 millimeters. On the narrow side here, the D6 is just at 19 millimeters on the D6. The D8 face to face is also at 19 millimeters. The D20 is at 23 millimeters. The D10 is 19 millimeters face to face. That also means that the D100 is going to be 19 millimeters face to face as well. Last but not least, the D12 is actually at 21 millimeters. So we've got 19, 21, and 23, so they're all very close in size. I think there's another option to get an even larger D20 if you want a super chunky one. That is available while supplies last. That might not be the case anymore, but hopefully you are seeing this soon enough to go pick up a set of these if you like them. So that's it, a super quick overview of the set. I love them. This is going to be the main set that I use forever onwards. As far as I could tell, I can't even imagine what a set of dice would have to be to lure me away from using these, because they're fantastic, phenomenal. So that's it for this review. Thank you so much for checking it out. If you would, give it a like if you've gotten this far, and if you want to make it YouTube official, consider subscribing to the channel for all things role-playing games with a focus on solo play. And also you can head over to the website Stag RPG to see more articles, and also I've started putting stuff on Drive-Thru RPG, especially about how to build factions. So if you want to check out the best way to build factions that are in each other's way and figuring out that kind of soap opera interplay of relationships and backstabbing and all that kind of thing, then go watch this video first and then go pick up the PDF. It's pay what you want, so whatever its value to you is, exchange it for that, and I will see you over in the other video.